kids, we're in. We did it, man.
We're here.
It's Bachelor Week here in Costa Rica.
Kind of.
The ladies have gone, and the developers are here to stay, man. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What'd you have for breakfast this morning?
I had toast with cream cheese on it and hash browns, and it was really good.
All right. That'll work. That'll work. That brings us, coincidentally, to a little segment we call...
What's happened last time?
Last time.
Last time we worked on test cases for
We built some test cases last time.
for division and subtraction. Right? Yeah. Division and subtraction.
Right.
And we created some argument exceptions for if things weren't going how we planned them to go for the calculator, we would just write something down or
we'd throw an exception, and that would, so an exception, we learned a little bit about that. An exception stops execution right there and says, I'm out.
Yeah.
And it will eventually abort the entire program unless somebody's there to catch the exception. So sometimes the framework you're working with, like WPF or WinForms or whatever framework, has an automatic catch at the top. So it won't crash.
Yeah.
It wraps everything you do in a catch. And sometimes that's not the case. If we were to run this program and trigger one of these exceptions, it might stop the program. You might try hitting start and testing that. We'll do a try to divide by 0 and see if our program crashes or not. So I think you're going to have to say, the way we do it is in the top, we're going to say do 1 divided by 0.
1 over.
No. These are 2 different text fields. So they're designed to create 2 different numbers. That's what we added the last minute last time. So do 1 divided by 2 in this top text. Divided by 0. Divided by 0. It looks like we're not calling evaluate, or alternatively we've got a catch around it. I think we're not calling evaluate yet. So we can't quite test it yet. We're not calling this. We're not creating a new SuperNumber. If you set a breakpoint here, I'm pretty sure this won't be called as you make a change here. Yeah, it's not being called. Mm-hmm. So we can't actually test it yet. But we could, since we're running, we could go find our change, text 1 change right in here. Right in this space. So when we change this text, there we go, we're at a breakpoint. So we can now make it to be a 0. And then what we can do is we can say, okay, now let's create a new SuperNumber. New SuperNumber. Right there. And I want to pass in, so see I've got a TBX whole 1.
Yeah.
Well, actually I've got this decimal fractionator. It's got a whole number, numerator, denominator. See that? It's got those kind of basic pieces we want. We could pass those properties in. So we need a whole number here. Once you add the other 2 properties, I think decimal fractionator's on the clipboard.
Okay.
I said properties, I should have said parameters.
Right. Denominator. Oh, okay. That's not what I'm wanting to do.
Okay, and that's not working because those want those as ints, and in our world those are decimals.
Okay, then we need to.
If you type in CI,
Yeah, I know.
Go ahead.
Ah.
Sorry, hit undo. My hands were on the keyboard.
What? Okay.
I moved my mouse off to the side. That might have impacted you. Don't forget, control right arrow and left arrow. Try them right now. Control left arrow and right arrow. Much faster way to get to where you want to be. See how it jumps over the whole word? Try to practice that. Okay, so now we're creating the SuperNumber. We're not doing anything with it, but if you hit the CodeRush key at the start of that line, you'll be able to create a new variable. Hit the home key to get to the beginning of the line on line 39. Hit home. There you go. Yeah, these keys over here, home and arrow keys, control, holding the control key with them, those can all help you out. So type the CodeRush key here and declare local. Now we got a new SuperNumber. All right, now hit F10. F10 is you're stepping through code, right? We're still at the breakpoint. Now we're about to execute this line of code. I think it's going to crash because we're passing in. Oh, you hit F11 maybe? Oh no, we had a breakpoint here. I see. So go ahead, hit F10, F10, and now there we're on the throw because the denominator is 0. Okay,
Yes.
so hit F10, and the whole application crashed. Okay, so let's clear our breakpoints. We're going to do that real quickly in debug. Disable all breakpoints. Run it one more time. So to show you what that looked like to a user, the user's here. Now type in 1 divided by 0 inside that top edit box there. Ah, well, it doesn't quite look that way because we've got breakdown exceptions. Hold on. Get my exception settings. I think they're in here. There they are. Control Alt E. Break when thrown. Let's say don't break when CLR exceptions are thrown. Try one more time. 1 divided by 0.
Huh?
Oh, you're doing it? Sorry, go ahead. Gosh, we're still getting in there.
Why?
Which exception? This must be a managed Win32 exception, maybe? Is it our own exception? It's an argument exception. Break when this, we're saying no, don't break, but it's still breaking. All right, so let's do this instead. When we build, let's go to our Solution Explorer. Right-click the Solution Explorer and choose like open in Windows Explorer. Right-click the solution up there at the top. And there you go, that blue thing. Right-click it. It's right-click it. Nope. 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 Right-click. There you go. Choose Open Folder and File Explorer near the bottom with the blue arrow. All right. Go into bin. Bin stands for binary. Go into debug. That's what we just built. Now double-click SuperCalc. Now you're running it straight, just like a user would run it. Now type in 1 divided by 0. Boom. Okay, so the question is that a bug or a feature?
I think it's a feature.
You think it's a feature? All right, secret way to exit fast. If you don't want that feature in your product, we need to protect against it. And to protect against a throw, we need a catch around anything that could throw. So the way you do it with CodeRush is you select the line or the lines you want to add in a catch, and you hit the letter C.
C.
And now when the exception occurs, what do we want to do? Maybe show error and pass in ex.message like that. And we'll create a new method called show error. And in show error, we're going to set the background equal to a new solid color brush. We go red, colors dot red, like that. And then we want to say the title is equal to the message. Now we don't have a way to clear this yet.
I think a bit over saturation, yeah.
We don't have a way to clear the error, but at least we'll see it. Let's run it. Let's build it. You can run it from the other one if you want to. Here, let's do this. Let's save it. Let's build. And then let's switch over here and let's double click it. So now we don't have protection for exceptions. So go ahead and type in 1/0, at least not from Visual Studio. Okay, see, now what's happened?
Yeah, we might want to also make these pieces red, and this, just all backgrounds.
Yep, sure we could do that. But now we're protected at least there. What if we tried it down here? Well, nothing's gonna happen here because we don't have any code to create a super number yet. But once we add it, we need to protect it there as well. So no problem there.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, denominator must always have a positive value. All right, so now we've got that. All right, cool. So that's just a little bit of exploration there. I wanted to go over into our tests. And I don't like this. This is a lot of code.
So we can...
What I want instead, what I really like, is something like this. I want this line of code. I want this code to be easier to read. Because then we had to put this off to the side, and that was kind of a pain in the butt to update those. What I want is this. 1 1/2 dot 2 super number. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah. And then we automatically know, oh, it's 1 1/2 when we look.
Right. That's what I'm talking about there. Or I guess we could also say new super number and pass in the string 1 1/2. Maybe that's happier.
Yeah, I think that's a bit easier.
You have that as a preference? All right, so let's do it. Let's go in and do it. We're going to generate constructor. And I'm skipping over fields or properties. I don't want it to give me any fields or properties for the string. I want to just deal with that string when it comes in. So I'm going to do that. Do you understand the difference between those?
Yes.
Was that clear? So now there's just the strings coming in. So let's say the string's here. Now, we've got that decimal fractionator. That's in here with us in the same assembly as the SuperCalc core. Do you remember what an assembly is?
I don't remember now.
It's a DLL, which is a dynamic linked library, which is essentially like a program that can't run unless it's loaded by another program. So it's got executable code in it, but I can't do anything with it. I can't double click it to start it. I can only double click something that's got the word application here. One of the things that you're not seeing here is there's a .exe at the end of this because the extension is hidden. And I'm not sure how to quickly view. Is there options here? Options. I think there are way more options. There's probably, here we go, hide extensions for known file types. See that option right there?
Yes.
That was on for your machine. I'm going to turn it off now. Watch what happens to SuperCalc when I click OK. Now you can see its actual file extension, which is exe. So this is something I can run. EXE's got a type of application. DLL has a type of application extension. So DLL is a way of organizing my code, putting core things in a DLL that I can use from multiple places. One application could use SuperCalc core DLL stuff, and another one could also use it.
It's like a method among classes a bit.
Yeah, it's like a method shared by classes. It's a way of organizing code so that I can have it all in one place. The other thing that's cool about it is by putting things in here, I can keep private things really, really private. It's really hard to go in and access private details of a class or something like that from outside. And so what that does is that keeps me from writing spaghetti code that messes, with somebody else's, inner workings. The problem with that is, let's see, it wasn't just you, but you were a whole team of like 100 developers. And I was like some extension that was using your tool that you built, using your DLL, and doing all of these inner working things with it. And then now you made a change, and then you broke everything that I built and relied upon. And then you'd hear knocks at the door, like that. And I'd be like, get him! Get that guy! Right?
Yeah.
Something like that. Or it'd be the other way around. You guys would come get me. At any rate, it's kind of like putting a fence around your home. You're less likely to have dogs kind of come in there and get on your lawn, or less likely for people you don't want to just be wandering on any side. Instead, you have a gate at the front. It's like putting a fence. around things
Yeah.
and saying, I'm organizing these things, I'm naming them, and I'm containing them, putting them together. That's what a DLL is. So SuperCalc Core, see that?
Yeah.
That DLL? That corresponds to this project. This project, we look at that type, it is a class library. See it? Not an application, a class library. Because it's a class library, it's a DLL.
Yes.
Got it? Can you say that back to me? Does it make sense?
I heard it, but it doesn't make sense. Not really.
Oh, well, then let's talk about what you know and ask questions about what you don't know.
So, well, I guess why would we use that and not just like a public method or
Why not? Why would we just put it all in our main app,
yeah,
right?
or
Well, because SuperNumber is going to be useful in more places than just SuperCalc. And if I want to use it in another solution and I don't have it in a DLL, that means I have to go copy code. And if I have to copy code, I've got the same copy of things in two different places. Imagine this, Campbell. Imagine that as you're writing a paper that's due, you have to hand in that paper. But to hand in that paper, you have to make a copy of the paper. Okay? So you make a copy of the paper and you hand it in. And now you want to make changes.
oh, yeah,
So you make changes, but if I'm your teacher, I've got the old copy. I don't have the new thing anymore. You want to give me those changes, you've got to go through that process of copying and putting it in again. And what if I'm making a book? What if you're writing only a chapter in my book and I've got 10 other people writing up 10 other chapters? So you give it to me, we copy, we put it in my book. Cool. And now you want to make changes, or I want you to make changes. What are we going to do? You're going to have to copy, make your changes, and make sure they're in my book as well. And we have to make sure they fit in the right spot because I've got the other chapters from other people. You see what I'm saying?
yes, but can't we just call the same methods or use the same variables from that main class?
Not if it's in an EXE. No. But if it's in a DLL, yes. See these references?
I thought we have done it in an EXE.
See these references? We've either copied code or we've reused references. One of the two things. See the references? See these?
Yeah.
These references are to DLLs. See that reference right there
Uh-huh.
from SuperCalc? What's it to? What's this reference to?
It calls on SuperCalc Core.
Yeah, it references this DLL right here. In fact, the reason this is copied into the debug for SuperCalc is because if I right-click this and choose properties, it says copy local to false, to true, which means the reference will be copied to the output directory.
Yes.
So we can only do what you're saying if we reference a DLL. We can only do what you're saying if we put it in a DLL. So that means we have to create a class library, which is a DLL. Dynamic link library, class library, same thing.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, that answers my question.
All right. Okay. So the DLL is out there. I think we've got a build error now. Nope, it worked. We have something that doesn't, well, we have tests that are going to fail. Let's run our test cases. This one should fail. There it is right there. This failed. Why did it fail?
Oh, we don't have code yet to take the string and get its whole number, denominator.
Right. Exactly. We don't have that code yet. We just have this.
Yeah.
Now, we have that decimal fractionator that's out there. We use it actually over here. See that?
Yeah.
Can you could take this code or look at it, do whatever you want, but can you use code similar to this to fix this so this works and the test case passes.
I think so. I think.
See what you can do. And I will
Oops.
watch on. Remember,
Wait.
there's no...
It wasn't in here, was it? No.
Nope, it was a main window.
Okay. What?
Is something happening that you're not understanding?
Yeah, I'm trying to use the Alt Shift right and left arrows, and it's not working.
What you want to do here, hold on, go to the, hit home now. Get your hands off the mouse a second. I'll show you the fastest way to do this. Shift key down, hold it down. Oops.
Oops.
Get to the, hit home. Hold the shift key
And then
down.
Shift End.
And then shift end or down arrow. But
Shift
while the
down.
shift key's down. See that?
Yes.
Fastest way. Now, alt left and right should work here too, still as well, but you're not going to be able to get the whole thing because you've got the spaces there in the middle. It's going to take a long time using alt left and right. See?
What?
Tell me what the reaction is so we understand. I want everybody who's watching to understand too.
Alt Shift wasn't working before. Oh, come on.
Might not have been alt shift. So shift home there would work. Selection increase will work there if you wanted to select that TBX number 2.txt. You want to replace that with something else, for example. Selection increase, you know the key, right?
I know.
You've only got part of that expression selected. You're going to want to replace the whole expression. That .text is only on the piece that was there
No,
before.
that's not what I wanted to do. Oh my god.
You're going to want to get rid of that .text too. I think you're thinking
what
it's
I'm
going to help
trying
you.
to
It
do.
won't help you.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Trying to get rid of it? Just hit the
Yes.
delete key.
I'm trying.
Can I try? Right there, delete key. So delete key is next to your home and end keys above your arrow keys.
I was pressing.
All right, you want a break? You want me to take over for a little bit?
No, I got it.
Okay. So TBX won't help you either because TBX is on a different window. You need to figure out what string do you want to pass in here. To figure out what string you want to pass in, you kind of have to understand what's the calling look like. Drop a marker right here and let's look at the calling. Good. To determine the calling, up on line 21 where it says SuperNumber, hit the tab key. Line 221. Put the caret inside the SuperNumber. Now hit the tab key. And then tab again. It's only called from one place. Tab again. What's passed in?
The string.
So this string is connected to the super, what do we call it, fractional decimator or whatever. It's connected to the decimal fractionator. How is it connected?
That's the string we're passing in.
Yeah. Let's talk about parameters. What's the value of str? See that str parameter up there?
Yeah.
What's the value of that str parameter when this is called from that other location?
It basically makes sure that we know that it's a string.
It does more than that. This makes sure it knows it's a string. This holds the value of the string. Parameters are like buckets, and when I make a call, I dump whatever I want to pass into the method into the bucket.
Well, not really, because anything would would hold the value. But the reason we called it str is so that we would know that it's a string when we called it anywhere else.
Right, but this is going to hold the value. By typing this in here, you're defeating the purpose of having a parameter by making this easy. This will always create a SuperNumber that's 1.5. I wanted to create whatever value I put in here as the SuperNumber. KidzCode, or should I say Guys Night? Look out, Campbell! It's Pudding. Welcome, Pudding. How are you doing, Pudding? So what's next? So tell me what you've done so far.
Basically, I've just gotten the string or created a decimal fractionator for the string.
Okay.
Whatever we put in here.
All right.
Which in this case is 1 1/2.
Right. Now, one thing you should know, when we were inside a constructor, notice there's no return type. No return type. These are constructors, right? These two are constructors right here. I think there's a third one in here. Let's maybe get all the constructors moving close to each other. How about we do that? So we kind of compare them. One way to find the constructors is to come here and hit the tab key. There's the other one right there. Okay. So now we got 3 constructors next to each other. When we're here, notice it's essentially like we're in a live instance of it.
Yeah.
So I can access the type and the whole number, the numerator and the denominator properties. I can access all of them. Okay?
Yes.
Also, you should remember, you probably don't remember this, but you should know that if this is null, this might be null.
Yes.
Okay? And if it's null, I think we want to say, we probably want to throw an exception. So I can do TNE like this, throw new, we're going to make it an argument exception, like that. And we're going to say, SuperNumber string invalid. Initialization string invalid. Is invalid. And we probably want to show people what it is. So I'm going to put some quotes in here. I'm escaping the quotes, and right in here, I'll do the interpolated part of it where I'll just pass in stuff. Like that. Do a big exclamation mark, whoops, right there. So, and then we're out. Okay, so I just added that protection code for you. Okay, so now at this point, we know the decimal fractionator is good.
Yeah. But we still don't have code that takes the string and turns it into.
Well, we've got the code that turns it into the decimal fractionator, the string that turns, we've got code that turns the string into the decimal fractionator. Pudding's asking, how's Guy's week going? Campbell, by the way.
Pretty good.
We're basically watching a lot of Mandalorian.
The only problem is that we don't have something that takes the decimal fractionator and
initializes the properties of SuperNumber.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, let me help you out. Type is equal to number type dot you finish.
Right.
Okay. That's one property of SuperNumber filled in. I recently watched Falcon and Winter Soldier. Was fun. We saw the first episode of that. We're waiting for Campbell's sister to come back. Watch the rest of it. You already set type. You don't need to set type, but you need to set a couple other properties of it. If it's a fraction, what are the other properties we have to set?
Whole number.
Go for it. Whole number, good. By the way, Campbell, yesterday on my coding show, I was like running into a brick wall, like for pretty much the whole show. Couldn't find a way through it. Well, you're going to need an equal sign if you want to get any kind of helpful IntelliSense right now.
For what?
Well, you just wrote the word whole number, but you don't have any statement on that line, at the end of that line.
I just wanted to write all of them down.
You can do that, but then IntelliSense won't help you so much. Yeah, semicolon will at the very least help you. Okay? Numerator, good. Semicolon. If you do the semicolon, IntelliSense still works pretty well. All right, good. So you figured that out. You've got...
And now we just need to... So this is equal to the first character in the string.
I don't want you to do the first character in the string because we've already got something called the decimal fractionator. Remember we built that automatically? Look at the code we took it from. Look at this. Uh-oh. We cut that to the clipboard. Let's put it back. So there's the decimal fractionator there. How are we using that?
We have whole number, numerator, and denominator. And we have the text for...
Yeah, what's the significance of these three things? That's the clue.
What? Sorry, can you say that
I
again?
said that's the clue. Well, I'm asking what's the significance,
before
right?
that.
I've got this instance. It's like a cookie, right? It's an instance, and it's got values for whole number, numerator, denominator. Right here, we're just throwing them back out at the text on the form. But we're using one of the texts from the form to create it.
Yes.
Well, look what we did here. We're creating one from the string we're passing in.
Yeah.
So that's your clue.
We already have a whole number there. Wait, that's not it. Oops. That's not it. It's the...
I think that cursor shape means that overwrite is engaged. So hit the insert key to tap it back, get it back. There you go.
It's...
Yeah. Now your eyes are in the right space. So that looks pretty good.
Wait. Wait, that's not what we want?
What are you thinking? What's going on?
I'm just going through these. Seeing which one. Oh wait, this is...
So what's here is what's available here depends on what the type is of whole number.
Oh, I know. I'm trying to get the right type. Wait. Oh my god, caps lock. Is it get type that we want?
No, it is not. It's actually done when you hit backspace. That's what you want.
That's what I thought. Okay. That's what I thought at first, but then...
Also, you should be able to take that top line of code and shift enter on it 2 more times to get your numerator and denominator much faster.
Okay, that's what I thought at first, but then because you said this depends on what type this is, I thought that was something that I needed
Right, so
to
let's
fill
look
out.
at that. No, let me explain that. Look, if I hover over, see the type? it's a double. See it? Wait, don't move the mouse.
Yeah.
See, it's a double?
I see.
So a double will have all of these different things on it.
Yeah.
Only methods. Not a lot, right? But here, if we do a dot, what we see here are other things because this type is
a decimal fractionator.
Right? Once you use Shift Enter to get these next two lines, they're going to be faster, I think, than typing it in. Or you can do it this way too. That works. All right, if you're done, you can try running the test cases and see if you fix it.
No, that's not done. There's still one more step I have to do, and that is, where is it? Where did I put it?
Fastest way is to go to the fractional test, hit tab to next reference to go right into that one constructor. Second fastest way is to go up to the top of this file, put the caret in SuperNumber, and hit tab to next reference. You can just pass it.
Do I have to put, I feel like I have to pass these in this method because the SuperNumber takes three things.
Well, here's the thing, here's what's happening. By doing this, it allows us over here to do a divide by 0 without getting any problem, without throwing the exceptions here. What we can do is we could do this. We could comment all of that out, and I think we just do this open paren, and we pass in, is this right? I'm not sure if this is right or not. Whole number, I'm sorry, decimal fractionator, not whole number. Can I call the constructor in this way? I don't remember how to do it. I know how to do it from here, but not from inside here. Yeah, it's method name, expected. Let's go look this up. C#, calling another constructor. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Call one constructor from another. Okay, oh, don't worry, only 1,115 people. No, we can't do it. 14 people have these questions. Yeah, I don't want to do that. See, so sit there, see what's happening? They're doing that. I don't want to do that. If what you want can't be achieved satisfactorily without having the initialization in its own method, okay? You can have any or all constructors pass the read-only variables by reference to an initialization routine, which can then be able to manipulate them all. So we've got some sort of initialization piece in here is what's happening. That's kind of interesting. solution. Yeah. Yeah, so it looks like we got to do some initialization. So let's consider that. This is our initialization piece right here. That's our initialization code. We essentially want to run that initialization code on 3 ints.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take those and I'm going to extract those. We're going to say, I call it initialize fraction. Like that. Whoa, that says denominator is equal to it? I want to change that so it doesn't return. I want it to do a ref on denominator. Reference means we can make a change to this number from the outside and it'll be, we can make a change to this number inside the function, and when we're done with the call, this number will have changed. But actually, I don't actually care even about that either. I don't need it to come back out. I just need it to change the internal value. So I'm just changing this function a little bit. Okay, so now I've got initialized fraction. I'm going to change this to return a void. No return. And that's it. Initialized fraction. See that?
Yeah.
And now we're going to, so now we don't want to lose that. So we're going to now call initialized fraction, but you got to figure out what to pass in for those 3 pieces right there.
Could we not just uncomment this and then take whole number? And
Yep, you totally do that. Totally do that.
Okay.
All right, you ready to run your test cases?
Almost. Control S.
Control Shift S will save everything.
Not on my machine.
Okay, still having problems with it. It is.
Oh. Only problem is there. We still had it as 1 and 1 over 0. I think that's the only problem. Yeah.
All right, let's go take a look at the code. I'm going to take this, we're going to move it down here because we're still losing those protections, right? In other words, here we should see at some point in here we have an exception we're expecting. Here, we're bad data. We're expecting an exception here, an argument exception there. We're going to say divide by 0, div 0. I think this one's going to fail. Bad div 0, and I'm going to say, well, first of all, if I divide by 0, now that we know that won't. If we do that, will this pass or fail? Expecting to pass. Good. That passed because it's throwing an argument exception. Okay. But now let's do it another time. Let's get another test case that we're expecting to bad 0, 2. And this time we're going to pass in 1 and 1 over 0. Okay? And we're going to run this. I bet this fails. It fails. It did not throw the expected exception. See that? Did not throw the expected exception. The reason why is because over here in SuperNumber, we're calling initialized fraction with default values of whole number, numerator, and denominator. Not with the actual values that are passed in through the string. See, we got to think about these. Each variable is like a bucket. And when I have an assignment, it's like I'm dumping from one bucket into another. And code executes from top down to bottom, like this. So the first line of code is this. We get the decimal fractionator. We check it to see if it's null. If it is, we throw an exception. Otherwise, we get to here, and we just pass in whatever values we already have for a whole number, whatever they're initialized to. They do initialized fraction. Initialized fraction takes them in, probably sees they're both 0, and says, okay, it's cool, and we're out. No worries. Then we come down here and we do our stuff. Right? We set the values. Which means all the protection from here, all of this protection, all of this code that could throw in an argument exception to save us never works. We need to initialize a fraction after we assign the values. Also, because it's a fraction and because we're calling initialized fraction, see the line of code I highlighted?
Yeah.
It's already executed for us in here.
Yeah, I saw that before. I just thought we were doing it in different places because we needed to do it in both.
No, we don't need it anymore. Sometimes you look at something and say, oh, you know what, I don't need it anymore. So now, with that change, see the div02 fail? You come in here, let's run it again. By the way, you just select it and hit that run button there, and now it passes. Okay?
Wait, before we do anything else, I just wanted to check all of them.
That's okay.
Okay.
No, it's a good idea.
Everything works.
All right, let's fix our test cases so they look easier to read. Right? And all of them should still pass. So we've got 5 3/4. So we're going to change this into 5 3/4. Right? It should still pass. This, we're going to change this to 1/3. Will that work?
Ooh.
It better.
I don't know.
Let's run it.
Actually.
If it works, it's a really good sign. Nice. It passed. Nice. Code's getting much easier to read. Okay. It's not working here with me being able to move these around. So this is going to be a new SuperNumber 2/3. So this is important, right? Anything you do frequently.
This is also
You want it to be
1/3?
easy. What'd you say?
This is also 1/3 is what I was saying.
I'm still not hearing you. I'm sorry, what?
This is also 1/3. The thing that you're on right now. Because the last thing that we did other than 2/3 was 1/3. And that was the one we tested.
Right, I'm just taking what I've got inside here.
Yeah, that's...
I'm taking that and I'm turning it into a string by looking at it. Whoops. You want to do some of these?
Yeah.
So that one right there, that should be 400 over 4, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be a string though.
Oops.
And 7/14. All right, you want to run some test cases, see if these are all working?
Oh my god. Look, this is what happens when I press the delete key.
When you press the delete key?
Yes.
Oh, you're hitting it on the numeric keypad. That's
yeah.
the dot.
I've kept on hitting
Right.
block and...
So the numeric keypad, let me show you something. Take a look at this. Code Rush, Setup Wizard. See this right here? Numeric keypad binding. See the delete key button right there that you've been hitting? It brings up the jump to menu.
That hasn't happened before.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, you're asking why is it happening. There's another delete key though. It's
Yes, I
closer
know.
to the home keys.
Yes, I know.
You say you know that?
Yes.
Hold on, Mom's
Above
calling.
the arrow keys.
Hey, you're in a van? That's a little bit... you guys are live on my show. You want to say hi to everybody? Okay.
Sorry, I'm driving a giant van.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Bye-bye.
All right, we love you. Work on math, Gia. I love you. She said goodbye. All right. Did you run the test cases?
No, not yet. Is there a way for me to have that not... Oh, wait. Yeah.
Yeah, if you do that, yeah, you lose other keys though, but you can do that.
Oh. And unlock. Oh, come on. What did I just do? Control Z. Good, good. Unlock.
You can delete this at the end, just do Shift End.
Yeah.
Shift End. Shift End. Shift plus the End key.
Or...
Just want to make sure you don't now, you might have brought another line up to the next line. You have to be careful with that. Are we seeing the correct IDE? Oh, I'm sorry. I think I switched over there. Sorry about that. Thanks so much, Jay Walter. Looks a bit frozen. There you go.
And then up. Enter.
Jay Walter's my new friend.
Come on. Wait.
Did you run the test cases recently?
Nope, not yet.
Cool. All right. You running them now? They're all working. So it's an easier way to write the number, right? And that's kind of one of the things we're looking for, right? We're looking for easier ways to do all the things that we're doing like all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, now I want to do this in my test cases. I want to do something like this. I want to get a test case that looks like this, Campbell. I think that's what I want it to look like. Either evaluate or to SuperNumber. Or, hold on, there's another version of it too. Where we pass into SuperNumber an actual equation. I don't know. I'm kind of liking something like this. To num? To decimal? I don't know. Do you like any of these?
I think to num.
You like to num?
Yeah.
It's nice and short. All right. This is, I want basically proposing adding a method to string. And string's got all these methods here. I don't have the source code to string. But I want to add a method to string. You with me so far?
I don't know where you're going with it, but
But I want you to understand what I'm trying to do. I want to try and modify string.
But we can't. 'Cause we
But
don't
we
have
can't.
the source code.
And then there is a way to do this. We're down in the test cases here. I'm going to put this, I want to put this over in core though. Let's look at our Solution Explorer. So our test, remember our tests? Remember talking about DLLs and references at the beginning? It's got a reference to that project too, SuperCalc Core. This code is best placed, I think, in SuperCalc Core.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new class in here. It's going to be a static class. That means we're not going to create any instances at all ever in this class.
Yeah.
And this is going to be, we're going to call this our SuperNumber extensions. And an extension is a, oh shoot, dude, we have to turn that option back on. I'll be disabled forever. Let's turn on structural highlighting and turn that back on. I have to be able to hit the keys I hit to work on your machine. Move type to file. There it is right there. We don't need a constructor in it. And now we need to have a method that's going to modify the string. We're going to call the method toNum. It's going to take a string coming in, stir. We'll just call it stir as the variable name right there. And we're going to make it public. Like that. Now, at this point, over in our tests, still, we have a problem. It says, hey, string doesn't contain that, and no accessible extension method. Let me show you how to turn this into an extension method. Right now, it looks like a normal method takes a string in. If I add the word this here, I've now turned it into an extension method. This is the way to reference this reference, but this is a static class, so it has no this reference inside of it. But that's what allows me to use this keyword here, which means now if I come in here and say this, is that true or no? No, I guess it's not true. It's just the str. I can use the str inside of here and now access it and return a number. We say we're going to return a SuperNumber from this thing, like that. That's what we're going to do. Okay, we're coming out to decimal fraction and I want to go to fraction tests. So now look, it works now.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, we're going to say, let's just do this. Let's return a new SuperNumber. 0, 400, 4. Is that right? I don't know. Oh, 100.5. Let's just do this. Just so we get the test case to pass. Okay? So we'll do that. That's going to be what? A float? No, what's it take? Decimal. Decimal is M. Okay, good. All right, let's run the test cases. Okay, everything passed. So we're good. We're really done, right? Aren't we? We've just added this cool toNumber, and just to prove that it works, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to try something else. 300 divided by 3 divided by 6. That's going to be 50.5. We'll run this again, and I'm sure it'll pass because we don't make mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it didn't work because, as we might expect, in our extensions, we're not actually doing anything yet. What I want to do in this is I want to find that. I want to find that operator. I'm waiting for some sort of reaction from you, so you understand where I'm going or what I'm doing with this. I want to find the operator. If I find the operator, I can create two SuperNumbers, and then I can add them together.
Yes, but that's hard to do. Get to find that operator.
Well, it's a good thing we wrote that program. Can you start that program up for me, the Reg Explorer pull-up program? we can write some code to find that. I want you to write something that finds a left and a right. Give me a regular expression that finds a left and a right side. So we're going to call those left and right. With one of the 4 operators in the middle.
So here we want, that's not the end, is it? No. This is the end, right? Yeah. And this is the beginning. And here.
Once you give it a pattern to test, like 1 plus 3.
Why?
What'd you say?
This isn't helpful to us.
No. Pattern to test. Text to test down below. I want to do this. If we're going to use divide as our pattern, it's got to have a space on either side. So we're looking for...
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Okay, so here we want a \d, was it? And then here we want either...
I want it to match any text left or right. I don't care about whether it's a decimal or not. I just need it to find...
No, that's just for digit.
Yeah, I don't want it to match... I want it to match any number of digits, any amount of text on left or right. I just want right now want it to find...
Yeah, this is... Oh.
You've got to match in just a single digit. I want it to match any number of text. Including non-digits.
Okay.
What happened?
I need to find... I think we wrote it in the code.
Wait, what did you say? Tell me what's happening. I don't understand what's happening.
I'm looking for the number.
Oh, do this. You can get it. Bring the app back up. If you want to see, if you go into the pattern menu, we added a menu up in the pattern menu to bring in our vector along. It just puts that whole thing in there.
Yeah,
that does have pieces.
The whole thing.
What'd you say?
I don't want the whole thing. We already wrote
I don't want you to match numbers though.
You just said you want. Okay.
No, listen to me. I'm saying I don't want you to match numbers. I want you to match any text left or right.
That.
Any text. You want me to take over?
This is any text. I had.
It's not. The /D only matches digits. I want to match anything, including. Go ahead.
It
you
does.
See what?
It does.
It doesn't. Watch. Let's just look at this only. Here, let me show you. So you got it. So this is matching only digits, right? Right here. That gets a match. Gets a match, right? What happens if I type in S? It doesn't match. I want it to match any character. Maybe I'm not saying this correctly. I want it to match any character, including an S.
I understand.
And I want it to be labeled left.
Why does it need labeling?
Because we need to be able to get the left side and right side and then add them together. And if we do labeling, remember what it does? It creates the groups. If you want an example of labeling, bring that pattern back down again.
I know what labeling is.
What'd you say?
Why do we need it? We won't need to access this left side or right side.
ever.
We will.
And also, we won't ever have to do it with any piece of text that isn't a number.
Look at this. 2 3/4. This is our sample text we're trying to match. I want to get the left side so I know this, and the right side so I know that. We will need to access those because I need to pass those in to what?
You didn't say that before.
I know, my apologies. Try to make that more clear. There you go. Good job. It needs a paren. I mean, it needs the question mark in front of it, I think. And I don't know if it can have, it's there, I think. I don't know if it can have spaces in it. It shouldn't have spaces. Just call it left. And hold on. Now, why at this point are we not finding a match?
Oh,
I think we need parens around the group. So parens, not there. I don't think it's there. I don't think it's there, Campbell. Hold on. I think it's around. Sorry, my bad. Nope. Well, I'm sorry. No, wait. I think it's around the dot and the asterisk. No. All right. This is why. So listen here. Let's cut that to clipboard. Let's bring up pattern. Let's see what the syntax is, because it's got it. Paren around that piece right there. Okay. So back over here, paren goes from here to here. See it?
Yep.
All right, now give me the other side over here on the other side. That's okay. Sometimes this happens, right? Where you're like, oh dang, what is it?
I know. Oops.
Good job. Now we just got to get that plus in the middle. I don't think it's curly braces. Curly braces is for specifying a count, I think.
No, it definitely is curly.
And I thought the square brackets were for ors. One of those characters. No, maybe I'm wrong. Try square brackets instead.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I was trying to do.
Okay, hold on.
Definitely not square brackets.
No. It's square brackets.
It isn't.
You see, look what it says. X minus Y range in reverse order. See that minus symbol in there?
Mm-hmm.
I think it needs to be escaped. I think the minus and I think the star need to be escaped as well. The star.
It doesn't.
It's not showing an error because I think it's using it as maybe, but sure, let's try it. Do we get an error if we escape it? No. Yes. I think that's what we need. And then that operator, I need the operator.
Why would it?
Why is it needed?
Yes.
Because asterisk means 0 or more of the previous character. But it might have a different meaning inside of here. I'm not sure.
The square brackets.
All right.
But why would it not be giving us an error here?
Oh, because I think they're both legal. Because I think inside it actually may just be a regular asterisk.
Yeah,
all right,
so we
hold
don't
on.
need to escape.
Yeah, you might be right. All right, let's build a named piece around this. We're going to call this operator. And paste that in. Sweet. Now let's see if we can pick up the asterisk right there. Put an asterisk in there for the operator. See if we pick that up. Nice. So you're right, we do not need one. Can we get the minus? Minus, we got it. All right. Let's give this class a good name. Left-right parser, maybe?
Wait.
Find left, right. Excellent. When you copy the clipboard, clear the checkbox. There you go. Copy to the clipboard. Copy. Boom. Excellent.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Now we want to put this in what? Let's go look at our Solution Explorer. Which of these three do we want to put this code in? Our test program, our main window, or SuperCalc core?
Our main window.
What'd you say?
wait, no. Our SuperCalc core. because
SuperCalc core. I agree with that.
That's everywhere.
Jay Walter's asking a question. What happens to the capture groups if the operator is /? And I don't, let's go look at that. Can we start that up again? Do we still have it running?
Nope.
Okay, let's paste in then what we've got. Let's go, we want to be somewhere in our SuperCalc core. Let's go in here and we'll paste that in. And here's the example code. There, what I want to do is get this string here.
It was / and everything was fine.
Let's run it. Let's run it and answer the question. Can you start it back
It's
up
fine.
again? I've copied that
Let's
into
go
the
back
clipboard
down.
so you can easily get that back again. Control A, Control V is the fastest way. Control A will select all, and Control V will close. Good. And then now, so let's look at if the operator is a /. I don't think it's going to. You just do. I want to change this. It just occurred to me. Okay, so that's what happens if it's a / right there. So the way we're differentiating it is we have spaces on either side of that operator. So we force it to have a space on either side, whereas our fractions, we essentially say, yeah. Jay Walter's saying, yeah, white space around the operators, right? I think I understand why it'll work then. There it is. One thing I want to change on this though, Campbell, we can do it in the code that's generated, or actually we can just do it here. I don't want this to be 0 or more. It's got to have 1 or more on the side. And 1 or more on this side as well. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want. It's that one there. Let's go ahead and recopy it to the clipboard there. All right? Copy. All right. So now we're going to come back over here. Whoops, that's not the right place. Here. I'm going to undo this paste and I'm going to do a new paste. And there it is right there with the new piece. And, oh shoot, I called it my class. What'd you call it? Find left, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Find left, right. That. Okay, file. All right, so now we've got find left, right. Awesome. Do you remember where we were before?
For what?
What were we working on that made us come out here to need something to grab the left and right sides? Do you remember where we were?
Wait. I don't think
We got a test case failing. Over here. Does that trigger your memory?
No.
We were creating this toNum extension method. So we could add these two together. toNum's getting the string coming in here. What we want to do is we want to do a, what is it, create call, I guess? Passing in the stir input. We want to do that first. We want to say, hey, if it's not null, then we know we've got 2 different numbers in here and an operator. Right? In which case, or at least we should have 2 different numbers. We're expecting them. So now what we can do is we can say, okay, new SuperNumber from the left side. So what property would I use here?
Left.
Fine.
And then for right, it would be right.
Let's do that. Let me just duplicate both lines. Go to change that to right. Right. Like that. Now at this point, if both of these are good, we can say, hey, if left is not null and right is not null, like that, Now we can do something really, really, really cool. We can check to see if left-right, we can, based on the value of left-right's operator, we can say, hey, that. We can do a switch statement on left-right operator. Switch statement is like a bunch of if-elses. And I can say, hey, if that operator is a plus, then I'm going to say return, and I'm going to say return new SuperNumber. Wait, oh, left plus right. I already got them. Like that.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, you know what? I don't think I need this check here. Because new SuperNumber is always going to return a value, I think, or it's going to throw an exception. So I just really need this. Can you give me the other 4 case statements in here? You can just hit Shift Enter on that to create them.
Shift Enter. For this one it is.
And here you have to change something that it's not giving you. Yeah, there you go, that. Good. Then you have to select it again, I think, to do the Shift Enter again, maybe. Might work from here without selection.
Shift Enter.
Oh, look at that, I found the operator. Sweet.
Oh. Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's right. Okay,
Yeah,
that one will
I-
work too.
We did
Cool.
division
Try
and
hitting Shift Enter one more
subtraction.
time right here.
So that-
See if it gets them. Sweet. Nice job, guys. I like it when the dev team does a good job. All right, cool. That is super cool. Now, if that's not the case,
Oh, that's not what I wanted to do.
if we don't have, whoops,
What?
sorry, I'm trying to help
I'm
too.
just trying to save.
It's Control Alt S is bringing this up. That's the hotkey for this. Look
Yes,
at this.
but I'm not
Look.
pressing Control Alt. I'm just
Show settings form, Control Alt plus S. Custom screen capture. What? Let's get rid of that. Maybe this is what's bringing this up. Disable. That's why.
Oh no, that's for when I try to. That's what happens when I try to save all of them. Control Shift S.
Yeah, try hitting Control Shift S now. Now that we've disabled that. Is it gonna work?
No.
What? We got rid of that. Did I have to hit apply or something? Disable. Apply, is that my deal? Try hitting Control Shift S now.
Wait. Shift S. Nope.
Still coming in. What? That's stunning to me. Disable. We're clearly disabling it.
Huh.
Really interesting.
Oh, that is so.
If I hit Control Shift S, it works for me here. You try it here. Well, try hitting Control Shift S. Still coming up. You sure you're hitting the Shift key?
I'm positive.
Wow. All right. I'll have to check it on your machine. What's interesting is when I'm connected to your machine, I can hit Control Shift S. All right. So
Even
now
Control S still isn't working.
Control S is bringing that up for you too. Try hitting the Alt and the Shift and the Control keys. Tap them up and down, each of them. Sometimes they get stuck. Well, that keyboard you have is pretty new. Try hitting Control S now. What happens? Control S now? Did you hit it?
It works.
Control
Control
Shift S?
Shift S is still working as well.
Oh, it's
Or
working.
now. I think it was Alt then.
Okay, cool.
Was stuck
So
there.
at this point, string, if we're here in this space, whoa, oops. If we're here in this space, that means we found left or right, right? And if we get down here, that means we didn't find left or right. Oh, yeah, because we're returning in all these spaces. So now what do we want to pass in here is the new question. If I don't have that, if I don't have an equation that passes, should I just do that? And I think the answer is yes, I'm going to do that. That's the parameter that's passed in at the top. See it? So we check C1. What that means is by doing that, now in our fraction test, we could also just have this as well. And that should work. Okay? So now let's
Yeah.
run this test and see if it works. Wouldn't it be nice if it worked? It passes. Sweet. So now, look at what we can do for our tests. We can make our tests even easier to read. And it's much easier to create new tests now.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? We used to have to type in this up above, right here. The cool thing about this also is we're creating a super number, and the super number has implicit conversion to decimal. So it'll implicitly convert it to itself to a decimal.
Yeah.
So let's change a couple of these. 1/3. It's 2/3. Got 2 num. All right. Now I want to do this. Is true. I want a test case now that looks like that. What are your thoughts on that?
Not sure how to do it.
What do you think about the value of that as a test case? Being able to create test cases like that. Valuable or no? Can you see
I
value
think
there?
it's valuable.
What?
I think it's valuable.
Why?
Because, well, we would constantly be using that.
What'd you say?
In a lot of our test cases, we're using it already.
Yeah, we're kind of already doing that in a lot of our test cases. It would be nice to get that. How would we do that, Campbell? What approach can you imagine an approach that we could take to do that?
No, not really.
What about thinking about what we just did? What was about the approach we did to make this work? How did we do that?
Regex, right?
What'd you say?
Regex, right? Or-
Yeah, we brought up the Regex Explorer and we created something that can tell the difference between the left and right sides. We created an extension method called toNum, right?
Into string.
toNum, what'd you say?
Or we created something called toNum in string.
No, not really. It's in a class called SuperNumber Extensions. By putting the word this here, it extends string,
Yeah.
which means I can take any string and call toNum on it now, as long as this class is somewhere in my library. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can call on any string, including a variable. I could even do this. This would be not advisable here, but I could even do it on a variable like this. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So very cool stuff here. That means, by the way, holy cow, that means right here, see this line, all of this code right here? We can now replace all of this code. Watch this. You're going to love this, I think. SuperNumber is equal to text. Guess what type it is? It's a string, which means we can call toNum on it. All of this goes away.
And that's a lot.
Well, maybe almost all of it. The try catch we still need if we're going to keep that ability to protect. So it
But
looks
still.
like this now,
Quite a bit.
but it's much better, right?
Yeah.
Let's run our program and see if that still works, right? So that's what's cool about that. Text is a property of type string, which means I can turn it into a super number just by calling toNum on it. Again, that's all made possible because of this extension class, which is static, that has this static method in it called toNum. And we know it's an extension because of the keyword this showing up right up here before the very first parameter.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right, let's run it. Let's run the app.
I was just saying but
See if it still works. See if we can type in 1 divided by 0 and not crash the app, because that's what that okay. Denominator must always have a positive value, so we're not crashing.
Oh, come on. If I do 1/0 and then I go back and I undo that.
Well, it's
It's still
invalid now.
It's still invalid, but
But if you type a 1, it should be good. Just a 1 all by itself should be valid. We're not clearing the error.
why? It still says 1 is invalid.
No, it says 1 space is invalid.
There is no space.
There was before.
But
It's
there
not
isn't.
clearing the error.
Why? Why?
It's not clearing the error. Let me show you how to clear the error. Watch this. We're going to clear the error right after we do this. So right down here, we're going to say, hey, all good. I like this function, this method name right here. All good. Let's declare it. Put it up near our other one. Show error. We're going to base it on this, but we're going to set the background to the correct color. Colors.white, I guess. Not wheat. Why did they name it white wheat right there? And then message is equal to all good. Okay, like that. So we're going to call all good if this all goes well. But if it fails, we're going to get to here. Okay? Try running it now and see if it behaves as you expect. Move it a little bit off to more to the center of the screen so people can see it. There you go.
1/0, and then if we go back.
All good. So see, you're all good now with the 1. See it?
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
go ahead.
Nope, that's good.
1 space wasn't good. If you typed a 1 and then a space, we could do a trim. The trim takes off extra white space around the edges if you want. We could add a trim code.
Yes. Okay. But I think we shouldn't show. Oh, we shouldn't show an error if there's no text, because that's just annoying. Oh, okay.
Okay, sure.
Like
You want to make
now
that change? Yeah, if it's empty. So why don't you make that change to the code? We were in main window saml.cs. How would you do it?
Put this here. Yeah. Okay.
Do you want to talk about how you want to solve it before you go in and write any code?
That's the thing. I don't know.
Oh, you're not trying to solve it. Okay, cool.
No, I don't know how to solve it.
Okay, so we can solve it. I'll give you a clue. Here's the clue. At this point, if that is equal to this, and Campbell doesn't want to show a message. Okay? That's your clue. Does that help you at all?
No.
Oh, it doesn't? All right. So let's think about that. If tvxnumber1.text is equal to empty string, do you understand that?
Yep.
Tell me about it. Let's just talk about it.
That's saying if there's no text at all
Yeah.
in the text box.
Then you don't want to show a message. Right here is where we show the message.
Yeah, I know.
So
I know how to. Okay, so I know how to check to see if there's no text, but I don't know how to make it so that we don't write an error or show a message.
okay. So a couple of ways we can do it. One of the ways. So the question is, how do we not do something in code?
It's
And
the
there's-
bang, right? But that one wouldn't work on the method.
I didn't hear you say that again.
It's bang, but that wouldn't work on the method, would it?
Right, you're right. That's just an expression. Well, one way is we could do this. We could say, hey, if, let's do this, create a new Boolean. Good to go. We could do this. hey, if good to go, then do something. Like that. Right, we could do that to do it that way. Or if we could say, if not good to go, then we could say return. See that? So line of code is executed here. This one is, if this were false, we would return. If we're not good to go, we would return. Otherwise, we would do undo something. So we can control flow with the return statement. It's one way. So there's essentially two ways to do it. One, with a return statement. Leave the method if you're done. Does that make sense? Second way is with an if statement. Only call the method if we're good. Does this help you?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You get to pick one of those two. If you want. I mean, there's probably about 3 or 4 ways that we could do this. But these are 2 that are pretty common ways. So the question is, can you kind of figure this out?
So here, oops. Oh. Here, we want to say if
Double equals in a, there you go. That good to go that I was typing in was just an example.
I know, but it's a good example. Oop.
Heisenberg, is it you? Stemsy, is it you? Did I get that handle pronunciation correct? How are you doing? Welcome. We're working on test cases in the SuperNumber out here. That's what we're doing. If you want a Boolean type, you can type in TB at the beginning of the line in the space. Yeah, something like that. I got it close. All right, good. So you have to declare good to go.
Yeah, I know.
Somewhere.
Oh wait, no.
And what's your plan? Talk me through this. What are you going to do with good to go?
Well, I'm going to say if good to go is true, then we all good.
So we can't see good to go down there outside of the
Oh wait,
braces
I don't want to declare it here. I want to declare it.
up above, a little higher. There's a CodeRush function that'll move that up there for you, by the way, a CodeRush feature called widen scope. But yeah, you can do that there.
Oh, right.
home key gets to the beginning of the line very fast. Okay.
And so
I love that you're writing all of this code. I think that this is like your sense of being able to say, okay, let me go start messing with it. Right?
wait.
Seems like you're feeling pretty comfortable going in and making changes. So, but I still am missing your strategy. I want to hear the logic of what you're thinking. Shift end, shift home, or shift down at this point. All good ways to select that line. What's your strategy? Talk to me like I didn't know how to program.
I have a variable, or I have something that is always false unless I don't have text. If I don't have text, then it's true, and if it's true, then I basically say that it's true. If it isn't true, then well.
Now we are now only calling all good if we're good to go. We used to call it all the time, no matter what,
Right.
which means it was clearing all the time before.
So wait. We basically want to say if it isn't good to go, then don't call this.
If we're not, here's the thing. If there's a problem with what we type in, like if we type in, let's imagine what happens if we're the program execution pointer. I'm going to select each line of code as we execute it. So let's say we've typed in an empty string, right? So we come in here, good goes false, we initialize it, good. Next line of code comes down here. We call this, it's empty. ToNum throws an argument exception. And we jump right to here, which means all of this code you're writing, we never ever get to it. Because the problem occurs here. You either have to intercept the problem here, intercept here, in other words, check for the error before we go forward, right? Or you have to intercept here, right there. And the interception here is the only thing you really work with is that. You're gonna need to say, hey, in fact, it might just be that code. I just pasted that in as an example, and it indented this as a child statement, but that's exactly kind of what you want. If the text is anything other than empty space, we're gonna show that error.
Yeah.
Or maybe a better way of doing it is this. If it's equal to this, then we're just gonna say all good. Otherwise, we're gonna show the error message. That I think is the cleanest way, right in there. Like I don't want to get rid of this because I love what you were doing, right? Look at what you're doing. You're now kind of showing him kind of a mastery and a command of being able to say, oh, you know what, I'm going to take this and start making my changes to it, right?
So basically, we just need to move the SuperNumber declaration down. Okay.
And but we also have to still keep our all good here. That's one way to do it. Make sense? So this is like why it's also really good to talk about strategy before you go in. Like, let's really get our head. The other thing too is sometimes you may not be clear on strategy, and talking about it helps you figure it out. You know, like if I talk to sometimes when I do the show with Rory, I'll say, here's what I think about doing, and sometimes I'm not entirely sure. Yeah. So now let's try it. Let's run it and see if that makes that fix that you wanted. Basically, go ahead. So go ahead and make a change.
Well, that works.
Well, not from start, because start we didn't do a text change in it. We can't test from start. Now backspace. Okay. So the fix has been made. So think about that, right? Because let's think about this again so we understand this. Before before we add this code. Right? Let's run that and watch it again. See it? Like that. Somebody says, just wanted to check in, have to go. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Dempsey. Right? So the fix is, one of the fixes is to intercept here.
Yeah.
There's another fix. Let me comment this out. Can you figure out the other fix? The other intercept point is here. So the fix goes here. What would we put in? What would we do? Is it clear to you at all?
No.
So I'll give you a hint. Something goes in here. What goes in there?
Then all good.
Okay. And there's one more piece, there's one more line of code. Can you sense what it is?
Nope.
Okay, let me ask you this. What happens if this is true? And then we execute this line of code. What happens?
Oh, return is the.
You want to put return there? What, is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Okay, so try that. Run that and see if that fixes it. Fixes it. Okay, two ways to fix it. You can preempt, you can kind of check in advance, make sure your data is good coming in, right? And if it's not good, we get out. See that?
Yes.
Or we can do it just before the message is reported, right? Two different ways to check it. Okay? A little more clear? Which of these two do you like? Which one do you prefer?
The one in the trap. Sorry, the.
In the catch? The one with the commented code down below, or this one?
No, this one.
You like this one?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get rid of this then, and we'll keep that code up right there. No need to show errors for empty values. We could also do this though. Watch this. So what do you think about this? Run that. What's that going to do?
Well, if we do this and then this, it will change the title to that, but that's not clear enough.
I didn't hear what you said.
I don't think that's clear enough. Like if you're not looking at the title, you wouldn't see that.
Okay. I agree. Maybe we could change the color of the actual TBX number 1. What if we did this? Oops. Background, I think is what it is. Background is equal to new. Solid color brush. Holy cow, we're doing this all the time. Colors. Dot. I want like a really light yellow. I think I'm just going to do this. You can make that a really light yellow for me.
Like here, light, or like...
Even lighter than that. Yeah, there. Okay, cool. But if that's not the case, then I'm going to make it white. Come on. White. Like that. All right, run it.
Huh.
Okay. We're going to change
Okay.
it back to see if it goes back to white. You need to test that too. Give it a good value. There you go.
I think I still like the other one more. And also, wait. I want to create a new template for the new solid brush color.
Oh, neat idea. Let's do that. Here, let me show you how to do that. There we go. Campbell's right there. Select that. Hit that button right there. Did you copy that to the clipboard, by the way, before you came in here?
Oh, I did not.
So type in NSB for new solid brush. Click OK. Let me type it in here real fast. New solid color brush. Colors dot white, I suppose.
I guess.
And we could do just that. We did just that at all. Let's try and see what happens when we do that. Come over here, type in NSB.
Yeah.
Not bad. We could also have it select the word white for us if we wanted to.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
All right, let's go change that template. So back in here, if we wanted to select it, we'll put the caret, click this button to put the caret on the left. And over here, we're going to click this button to have the block anchor. Whoops. This button to have the block anchor. Like that. Oops, I don't want it on the other side of colors. I want it on the other side of white. Like that. We can also put a field in here too. And if we make this a field, then when we hit enter, we'll go to the end of the line. And so now try NSB here. We give it the right name, new solid brush. I guess we did. And so now you should be able to type something else in here, like B, and then pick a color, hit enter, and then hit enter one more time to get outside at the end of it. It's better. Cool. Good job. I like that. Really nice job.
But we want this to be colors.
All right. So back over into our fractional tests. We were here, and I was asking about strategies for doing this.
I don't know.
And I reminded you of the strategy we used where we said, well, let's build one of these regex parsers that can split and find the operator. Well, now I want one that does this. See it?
Uh-huh.
So this is going to give me my left and right sides. I'm going to call this my equation
It already does it.
finder. What'd you say?
It already does it. We don't need to make any changes.
What already does it?
This. It already finds the two sides.
Right, because I just made this change here. I took out operator.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's my equation finder right there. Finds the left and right side. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to copy that to the clipboard. Copy it. Now we're going to go over to our decimal fractionator over there. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to paste this in. There's our equation finder. Move that to its own file. We're going to go to our SuperNumber extensions. We're going to create a new extension called eval. But it's going to return true or false, which means what type is that?
Bool.
Exactly. And now I want to use my equation finder and pass in the stir to it. and see if I get the equation finder back here on it. If we say if not null, then we're good to go, right? Or maybe we could reverse this logic and say we're not good to go, and we could throw a new exception here. And that new exception is going to be, what's going to be an argument exception, because the argument's bad. We can't find it. And we're going to say could not find equation in, do that escaping of this strings again, and then we're going to have the interpolated str. Like that. Exclamation mark. Okay? So if it's null, then we're there. If it's not null, then what that means is the left side and the right side, we should be able to set them both equal to supernumbers.
Yeah.
So we're going to say equation finder dot left. Whoops. Equation finder dot left. Come on. Dot. Now here's the killer thing. Watch this. Watch how the code gets really cool here. The left should be a type string. See it?
Uh-huh.
What method can I call on string that turns it into a supernumber?
Dot num, right?
Kind of. It's close.
Oh, dot to num.
It's right below, right? We built this. So
Yeah.
we're going to declare this. This is going to be our left num. Like that. We get another one for our right num. Whoops. Ah. This is right over here. Okay?
Okay.
Something's wrong here. What's wrong with right? Oh, shoot. Right is a double. Because our example was it thought it was a double. Let's go dive into that, change its type back to string. Okay, cool. All right, so now we've got our left number and our right number, and then we want to basically say return, what's the code going to be here? It's going to be an expression with two things on either side of the equals, double equals. What goes on the left and what goes on the right?
I don't know. Oh, wait. Yeah.
What goes over here?
Left num and then right num.
Right, exactly. That's what goes there.
Wait, why double equals in the middle?
Oh, well, it has to be an expression, and double equals is the comparison operator, whereas single equals is the assignment.
But when we return, we assign, right?
I don't want to return the assignment. I want to return Pogs Prime Sub, says Pudding. When we return an assignment, that's going to be a number, but we want to just return true or false if the expression is true or not. So it's the same as, by the way, this is the same as saying if that they're equal, then return true, otherwise return false. Maybe that's easier for you to read.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it that way then. All right, cool. Let's go look at the eval. Let's freaking run this, man. Wouldn't that be awesome if that worked? Run the test.
Oh, okay, I get it now.
Shoot, it failed. It failed. Why? Is true failed? Well, we're going to have to step into it. Set a breakpoint, debug the test, step in and figure out what's going on. All right, step inside eval. Equation finder is we've got a left and a right. The values look good. You agree with that?
Uh-huh. I think it's something else. I think I know what it is.
So left num is equal to 1. Okay, that's how we're representing 1. Kind of interesting. Because it was like, hold on. Did we switch our left and rights? What's our left? No, that's it right there. Oh. It added them together. See what it did?
Yeah, okay.
It added them together.
I thought it was something like that. I didn't think it was exactly that, but I thought that we were asserting them equal, and then Visual Studio was also asserting them equal.
Okay,
So it was being very weird about it, but that's not true. It's adding them.
and right number is just 1. Right number. Oh no! Look at this. 2 things. PyroCat. Look out! It's PyroCat, man. Just get out of the way, man. There's all kinds of crazy going on here. I can't believe PyroCat's here. Ah! PyroCat, get out of here. Nothing cuter than PyroCat.
Hi, PyroCat.
Welcome, PyroCat. Let's switch back over to Campbell's machine over here.
Okay.
Look at this. Look what happened here.
Oh.
The PyroCat says, laughing out loud, "Hey guys." PyroCat comes in with, "Someone challenged me to do C# dev and VI. My brain officially hurts." Say, don't do it. Don't hurt your brain, kids. Look at this, Campbell. Does this concern you? We had the string 1, and we get 0 out of it. Our toNum is failing.
No.
Does that concern you?
A lot.
Okay, good. You should be really concerned. That's why we're failing. So we need a test case now, right now. When we find a problem, we want to create a test case immediately for that problem. So I'm aborting everything, and I want to create a test case that's more important than the one we were just on. So we create a new test method here, T for test, right? This is going to be test toNum from 1. And then we're going to come in here, we're going to say A for assert equals. I want the number 1 to be here, and over here, I want to pass in the number 1 dot toNum on that. I want to make sure that works. This one's going to fail based on what we just saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, look at this. See this right here?
Uh-huh.
Remember we were looking at this before, we're like, boy, I'm sure it would be nice if that gave us a value we could actually read. And your head's just a little bit blocking. I'll move it up here so you can see it. Now we're talking about right in there. That piece right there. It's expecting 1, but it got a SuperNumber instead. PyroCat says he's lurking a lot recently. No worries. No worries. All right, so we need to fix this. But also I want to fix this. See this right here? I want to fix that. So one of the ways we can do that is we can go into our SuperNumber. We can override toString. I think I just type in TS here. Yeah, TS for toString. It'll give me, Coders gives me the override here. What I'm going to do here instead is I'm going to say return, what is it? Do we have a decimal? Not toString. Oh, it's value. I forgot what we called it. We called it value.
Value, that was.
I'm going to return value toString.
Wait.
But did you say wait?
Yeah, I just had to sneeze.
Oh, you had to sneeze? Okay. No worries. I'm going to make it a little bit smarter than just value toString. I'm going to do an interpolated string that does it, but I'm also going to say, hey, you know what? We're a SuperNumber. And in parens, I'm going to put the value. See that? So let's try running that test case again and see if that toString override fixes this down here with that change.
Problem where it doesn't show us what the value is.
Wouldn't that be nice? And I think it's going to say SuperNumber 0. There it is. See the value? 0 is now in there. Okay? So we're getting 0 when we do toNum. So that's our problem. We need to go into that right now, debug it, find out what is wrong. There we go. toNum. Can I do a F11 to get inside it? I can. Okay. So left, right. There's nothing. Then we're just calling SuperNumber from a string of 1. Okay. Decimal fractionator. What do we got there? The decimal value is 1 and everything else is 0. Ooh, okay. we didn't check for this. Our decimal fractionator, Campbell. Do you remember this? It checks to see, basically, it checks to see if the value is specified. If it's found a decimal or if it's found denominator, a numerator, and whole number. And I think what we want is a line of code here that says, hey, if this dot decimal value is not equal to 0, then we want to say, we want to do, isn't that also, is there one more constructor in here that just takes the decimal value? We do, it's right there. Okay. So, extract method, initialize decimal, like that. I'm going to call it, jump back to where we were, and we're going to call it initialize decimal, and we're going to get out. But we're going to pass in this, the value. Does that make sense?
Yes.
We're passing in that value there. What does it need here? It needs a decimal. Our decimal value is type double, so we're going to cast it. So I'm going to type in CDE, cast to a double with that. Okay,
No, that's
now.
a decimal. You cast it as a decimal.
Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Sorry, decimal. And so now we're here. This might fix it. Failed.
What?
Expected 1. Actual super number. I think we have to typecast this as our last fix to this. I think we need to do, we need to typecast this. With it, or just make it at an M. Let's try that. See if that one works. Because we have implicit conversion. There it is. It passed. We have implicit conversion to decimals, but not to ints. Okay.
Yeah.
So that now is fixed. Now does this one pass? Is your next question. Now that we fixed that bug, are we going to get a green check? We do. And now let's do a final run of all our test cases. They all pass?
They all work.
Okay, what a great show. Campbell, thanks so much for being my co-host, buddy. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much for being my co-host.
Oh, that's what I meant to say. Thanks so much for being my host. I'm going to send you over to KidzCode.
Okay. Goodbye.
Campbell's going to check in this code. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us. You guys have been great. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.